All right, diving right in, AI. It's everywhere. And we all want to know more, right? Especially when it comes to a company like Meta.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely all in on AI at this point.
We actually managed to snag a recent interview with Mark Zuckerberg himself, where he talks about how Meta is using AI across all its platforms.
I'm ready to hear it.
Me too. So, should we start with the stuff we see every day, like Facebook and Instagram? How is AI already changing those platforms?
Well, think about it this way. Like when you're scrolling through your newsfeed, it's AI deciding which posts you see.
Oh, yeah, like what you've liked or commented on before.
Exactly. And AI is also behind those filters and effects we all love on Instagram.
Oh, even those real-time ones that make you look like a cat or something.
Yep, that's AI doing its magic. And don't forget about WhatsApp. They're starting to roll out AI features there too.
Like what?
Well, things like suggested replies and help with managing tasks within the app.
So it's almost like having a personal assistant built right in.
Kind of, yeah. But honestly, this personalized AI experience is just the beginning. Zuckerberg has much bigger plans for AI.
Like what?
He wants to use it to build the metaverse.
Okay, metaverse. It sounds futuristic, but how does AI actually make it work?
Well, for one thing, AI can be used to create these super realistic avatars.
You mean like they look and move like real people?
Yeah. Like imagine your avatar in the metaverse mirroring your expressions, your movements, all in real time. That's the kind of thing AI can do.
That's wild.
And those detailed 3D environments, AI can help generate those automatically and maybe even adapt them to your preferences as you explore.
Whoa. So it's like AI is literally building this world for us to live in.
In a way, yes.
So what else can AI do in the metaverse?
Well, one of the coolest things is real-time translation. Imagine talking to people from anywhere in the world, and the AI just translates everything instantly.
No more language barriers.
Exactly. And as these virtual worlds become more and more complex, AI can help make sure everything runs smoothly, optimize the performance so that even people without, like, the latest tech can still have a good experience.
That makes sense. But I have to ask, what about privacy?
I knew you were going to go there.
Well, it's a valid concern, right? All this AI, tracking everything we do.
Don't worry, Zuckerberg addressed that in the interview.
Okay, good.
He's talking about minimizing the use of sensitive data, and he even brought up this cool technique called federated learning.
Okay, I've never heard of that.
It's basically a way to train AI models without collecting all our personal data in one place.
So, like, instead of my data going to Meta's servers,
Yeah.
the AI learns from my activity, but on my own device.
Exactly. So the AI gets smarter based on your usage, but your data stays put safe and sound on your phone or computer.
That sounds much better for privacy.
Oh, and he also emphasized transparency, like working with outside researchers to make sure the AI is developed responsibly and ethically.
So it's not just about the cool factor. They're thinking about the implications, too. But aside from the metaverse, what else is Meta doing with AI?
Well, Zuckerberg is really interested in healthcare and education.
Those are biggies.
Right. He sees AI as a way to really make a difference in people's lives.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
So how could AI change healthcare?
Well, he's particularly excited about diagnostics, using AI to look at medical images like X-rays or scans, and maybe even catch diseases earlier than humans can.
Oh, wow. So like helping doctors with diagnosis.
Exactly. And then there's personalized medicine. AI could analyze your genetic data and help tailor treatment specifically for you.
So no more one-size-fits-all approach. That makes sense.
And in education, he sees AI as a way to personalize learning.
Like with those apps that adapt to how a student is doing.
Yeah. And he's also into immersive learning experiences, like AI-powered virtual field trips. Imagine exploring ancient ruins or dissecting a virtual frog in class.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So he's really putting a lot of faith in AI to do good.
Oh yeah, he's definitely optimistic about its potential.
But what about the bigger picture? What does Zuckerberg see as the long-term future of AI?
Well, he talked about 3 key areas where he expects some big breakthroughs. The first one is human-machine interaction.
Okay, what does that mean?
Basically, he thinks that interacting with technology is going to become as natural as talking to another person. Like, you could ask your device complex questions and get these nuanced, thoughtful answers, just like you were talking to a friend.
That would be amazing.
Right.
Like no more awkward commands or confusing menus.
Right. Just natural, seamless interaction.
So what's the second area he's excited about?
Sustainability.
Oh, interesting.
He believes AI can help us optimize energy use, manage resources more efficiently, and even address climate change. He's got this vision of AI helping us live more sustainably in harmony with the environment.
Okay, that's promising. And what about the third area?
The third one is collaboration. He really emphasized the need for people from different fields to work together.
So like scientists, engineers, policymakers,
Yeah.
all working together on AI.
Yeah, to make sure it's developed responsibly and ethically. He sees it as this tool that could help us solve some of the world's biggest challenges, but only if we approach it collaboratively.
That makes a lot of sense. So this deep dive so far has definitely given us a lot to think about. What's the key takeaway for our listeners from this first part of our exploration?
I think the main thing is that AI is already a huge part of our lives, even if we don't realize it. And it's only going to get bigger, impacting everything from healthcare to education and even the way we interact with each other.
Wow. It sounds like we're just at the beginning of the AI revolution.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're talking about how AI is already everywhere and like changing everything.
Yeah, and it sounds like Zuckerberg thinks that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Totally.
Yeah.
He mentioned these 3 areas where he sees AI making huge leaps in the future. Like that thing about human-machine interaction becoming more natural. What did he mean by that?
Well, imagine a world where talking to your tech is just like talking to a friend. You ask a question, you get a thoughtful response, like a real conversation.
Oh, wow. That's kind of blowing my mind.
Right. And it's not just limited to computers. Think about AI built into your home, your car, even your clothes. It's like seamless integration with technology.
Okay, that is futuristic.
Totally.
What was the second prediction? Something about sustainability, right?
Yes. Zuckerberg is really into using AI to make the world a better place, more sustainable. Like he thinks it can help us optimize energy consumption, manage resources, even fight climate change.
I mean, that all sounds pretty amazing, but like, how? Can you give some examples?
Okay, so imagine AI analyzing tons of data about things like energy usage, traffic patterns, weather. Then it could help us design smarter cities, predict energy needs, and even give us early warnings about natural disasters.
Whoa, so AI could actually help us prevent things like blackouts and stuff.
It's possible.
That's pretty impressive. And what about his third prediction?
That was all about collaboration.
Oh, right. He was saying how important it is for different experts to team up on AI.
Yeah, like scientists, engineers, ethicists, even policymakers, all working together to make sure AI is used for good.
It makes sense, right? Like it's such a powerful technology, you don't want it to get out of control.
Absolutely.
We need to be careful and thoughtful about how we develop it.
Totally agree.
So before we move on, any big takeaways from this part of the deep dive for our listeners?
Well, I think it's important to remember that AI is more than just a fancy new technology. It's a tool that can be used to solve some of humanity's biggest problems, but it's up to us to make sure it's used wisely and ethically.
It feels like we're standing at the edge of something really big, you know?
Yeah, I think we are.
It really seems like Zuckerberg sees AI as this force for good in the world, you know? Like way beyond just making Meta's products better.
Oh, absolutely. He even talked about using it to tackle global issues like poverty or disease.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Yeah.
Was there anything he said that like really stood out to you?
You know, there was this one line that I keep thinking about. He said that AI is ultimately a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
That's deep.
It really is. Because it means that AI's impact isn't set in stone, you know? It depends on us, the people who are developing it, using it, making decisions about it.
So it's not just about the tech itself, but about how we choose to use it.
Exactly. AI is a reflection of, well, of us, of our creativity and our potential, but also our capacity to, you know, to mess things up.
Right, like it can amplify our best efforts, but also our mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so where do we go from here? Like, what can everyday people do to help shape the future of AI?
Well, first things first. Stay informed, read about it, talk about it, and don't be afraid to, like, question your own assumptions about AI.
Knowledge is power, right? Especially with something this complex.
Absolutely. And, you know, don't be afraid to ask those tough questions, too.
Like, what kind of questions?
Well, question the algorithms you see, question any biases in the system, question the ethical implications.
So, like, don't just be a passive observer, right? Actually think about the stuff you're seeing.
Yes. And speak up, share your concerns, your ideas, get involved in the conversation.
This isn't just something for, like, tech geniuses to figure out.
Right. This affects all of us, so we all need to be part of the discussion.
This deep dive into Zuckerberg's vision for AI has been, well, it's been pretty eye-opening. It's made me realize how much potential AI has to change the world, but also how important it is that we use it responsibly.
Yeah, it's exciting and a little bit scary all at the same time.
For sure. Any final thoughts for our listeners as we wrap up this episode?
I'd just say, remember that the future of AI isn't predetermined. It's something that we are all shaping right now with every choice we make.
That's a good point. Zuckerberg actually said something similar in the interview. He said, "The future is not something that just happens to us. It's something we create."
That's perfect.
So as we all continue to explore the world of AI, let's do it with purpose. Let's build a future where technology helps us live better, more meaningful lives.
Hear, hear.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.